Calm, slow, philosophical. Your anxiety does not come from weakness. It comes from a lie. The lie that you are supposed to understand everything. You believe that if you think enough, if you know enough, you will finally control your life. But notice the pattern. The more you think, the more anxious you become. The more you know, the less certain you feel. This is not a video about stress management. It is not about calming techniques or positive thinking. This is about a philosophical mistake that is quietly destroying the modern mind. Kant believed your mind was never designed to know everything, and anxiety begins the moment you demand it to. To understand why, we need to look at what Kant said about the limits of reason. Kant did not say the human mind is weak. He said it is powerful, but bounded. Reason is not an infinite tool. It was never meant to explain everything. Kant believed reason was designed for a specific job, to understand experience, to guide action, and to create rules for living. But there are things reason cannot do. Reason cannot give you ultimate meaning. It cannot guarantee total certainty. It cannot predict absolute outcomes. This distinction is critical. What reason can know is what you can experience, test, and act upon. What reason cannot know is the final answer to life, the future in full detail, or why everything happens the way it does. And here is the insight most people miss. Anxiety does not begin because the mind is broken. It begins when reason is forced to answer questions it was never built to solve. When you demand certainty where none is possible, reason does not become stronger. It collapses into overthinking. And modern life does one thing extremely well. It pushes us to violate this limit every single day. You are not anxious because you think too much. You are anxious because you think about the wrong things. Kant's diagnosis was simple. Suffering does not come from reason itself. It comes from the misuse of reason. Reason breaks down when it is pushed beyond its proper domain. It was built to guide action, not to eliminate uncertainty, not to predict everything, not to resolve the deepest questions of existence. But modern life trains us to do exactly that. We try to foresee every possible outcome so nothing can surprise us. We try to eliminate uncertainty so nothing can threaten us. We try to answer existential questions with data, as if meaning were a spreadsheet problem. And this is where anxiety begins. Reason collapses when it is asked to provide certainty about an uncertain world. The mind was never designed to carry that burden. So it loops. It replays scenarios. It searches for final answers that do not exist. This is not intelligence. It is reason being forced into the wrong role. And this misuse shows up clearly in three modern forms of anxiety. Overthinking is reason stuck in a loop with no exit. In a healthy mind, reason has boundaries. Some things require thinking. Some things require action. Some things require acceptance. But overthinking erases these boundaries. Every decision feels existential. Every choice feels permanent. Every uncertainty feels dangerous. The mind treats small decisions as if they define your entire future. This is not careful thinking. It is reason panicking because it cannot reach certainty. Kant would say reason was never meant to simulate infinite futures. Its role is simple. Clarify what you can control. Act according to principle. Then stop. Overthinking happens when reason refuses to stop. It keeps running even when no new clarity is possible. This is why overthinking feels exhausting, not because you lack intelligence, but because your mind is doing work it was never designed to finish. Overthinking is not intelligence, it is reason refusing to exit the stage. But the problem goes deeper than decisions. Existential anxiety appears when reason demands ultimate meaning. Questions like, what is the ultimate purpose? What happens in the end? What does all of this really mean? These are not stupid questions. Kant never denied them, but he made a dangerous distinction. These questions cannot be solved by reason alone. Reason was built to organize experience, guide action, and create rules for living. It was not built to deliver total meaning or absolute certainty. Existential anxiety begins when reason is forced to answer questions outside its domain. The mind keeps searching, but no final answer appears, so it searches harder and harder. Kant didn't deny these questions. He denied that reason should torture itself trying to resolve them. This changes everything. Peace does not come from answers. It comes from knowing which questions to stop asking. Wisdom is not having complete explanations. Wisdom is knowing where explanation ends and living must begin. And today, this violation happens constantly.
Calm, slow, philosophical. Doomscrolling is the illusion that more information equals control. You keep scrolling because it feels responsible. You tell yourself, if I know more, I'll be safer, I'll be prepared, I'll understand. Kant would disagree. Infinite information does not create infinite understanding. Reason does not need endless input. It needs closure. Doomscrolling destroys that. There is no action, no resolution, no boundary. The mind stays alert but directionless. Reason keeps receiving signals without ever deciding. This is not thinking. It is stimulation without judgment. Kant believed reason exists to guide action, not to absorb the entire world. When reason is denied an endpoint, it cannot conclude, it cannot rest, it cannot choose. So anxiety grows. You know more, but you can do nothing. You feel informed, but powerless. A mind without limits will drown in facts and still feel helpless. This is why doomscrolling never brings relief. It promises control, but removes agency. So what is the Kantian alternative? Wisdom is knowing when reason should speak and when it should rest. Kant never told us to stop thinking. He told us to think properly. Reason has a job, and it has limits. So when should you think? Think when a decision requires action. Think when a principle must guide your behavior. Think when responsibility is involved, when your choice affects what you will do next. This is where reason belongs. Now, when should you stop? Stop when you demand total certainty. Stop when you replay outcomes you cannot change. Stop when you consume information without the ability to act on it. At that point, reason is no longer guiding you. It is exhausting itself. Kant's insight is simple. Reason exists to guide action, not to eliminate uncertainty. Uncertainty is not a failure of thinking. It is the condition of being human. The mistake is believing that more thought will remove it. It won't. It only turns reason against itself. This leads to Kant's quiet cure for anxiety. Kant didn't promise peace through knowledge. He promised peace through limits. Modern anxiety comes from a single demand, that your mind should understand everything. Kant said this demand is the mistake. Your mind was never built to solve all uncertainty.
It was built to judge clearly, to act responsibly, and then to let go. When you respect the limits of reason, thinking becomes lighter, decisions become calmer, anxiety loses its grip. Not because life is certain, but because your mind stops fighting reality. Your mind was never built to know everything. It was built to act wisely and then let go. If you want philosophy that calms the mind by strengthening judgment, not feeding anxiety, subscribe and learn to think the way Kant believed a stable life requires.